Soon, Egyptians will go to the polls to democratically elect a president. A revolution misunderstood? Soon, Egyptians will go to the polls to democratically elect a president. But what about the choice? Is this a contest pitting the military against Islam? Is this election and other changes in the Arab Middle East living up to the hopes and aspirations of the Arab Spring? To crosstalk what's next for the Arab revolutions, I'm joined by Greg Roman in Tel Aviv. He is the Director of Development at the Global Research and International Affairs Center at the Interdisciplinary Center. In Cairo, we have Avi Asher Sapiro. He is a journalist and writer. And in Austin, we cross to Michael Brenner. He is a professor of international relations at the University of Texas. All right, gentlemen, crosstalk rules in effect. That means you can jump in anytime you want. Avi, if I can go to you first in Cairo, how would you describe the choice Egyptians have when it comes to the presidential election?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. A lot of people see it as a difficult choice between, Islamists and remnants of the old regime. But at the same time, there's a lot of optimism that at least the democratic process has begun to work. And, there's a large segment of society that is excited by both candidates. Ahmed Shafiq has, although he is a member of the old regime, there are a lot of people who seek stability in the coming years, and they see Shafiq as a viable option. And when it comes to Morsi, the Muslim Brotherhood has a wide base of support in the country, and they've been, a key component of the transition process. And, they were able to mobilize a large segment of society to vote for them in both the parliamentary and presidential elections. So, although hardcore revolutionaries and are at times disappointed by these choices, I don't think it's time yet to call the Egyptian revolution failed or over.
Okay, Michael, if I can go to you in Austin, people are excited about the democratic process. Are either candidates Democrats in your mind?
Well, the Democrats, for the time being, whether they have political democracy in their DNA is quite another matter. From the Washington vantage point, at this stage in the thinking about the Arab Spring and the revolutionary changes in Arab societies, certainly the Obama administration's sort of primary concerns are less about realizing democratic ideals than they are about, hopefully seeing the establishment of stable regimes that will be friendly to the United States, and that friendliness would express itself in terms of agreeing with the basic outline of American foreign policy in the region, rather than what's happening internally.
Okay. Greg, do you think the Egyptian people are going to disappoint Washington?
I don't think it's so much about the Egyptian people disappointing Washington, but what the elected leadership will do in order to deal with the military. Now, we see in Egypt two states, one where you have the political institutions which are being elected right now, and the power of the presidency and the power of the parliament still haven't been defined yet. We're going to still go through a constitutional process. But on the other hand, what a lot of people aren't talking about is the results of what will happen to the Tantawi Supreme Council of Armed Forces. Now, in the Egyptian military, they don't just exist as the body that defends Egypt, but they also exist with a full economic structure, the independence that they have in their ability to be able to dictate economic policy. And as long